Hi everyone, my name is Kristen, a Kinney Center Scholar at the Kinney Center for Autism Education and Support. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make brownies from home. This is a really fun, super easy recipe to make from home and a really yummy treat. The ingredients you will need are 1 large mixing bowl, vegetable oil, butter or margarine, 3 large eggs, brownie mix, a spatula, a spoon, a fork, a butter knife, a measuring cup, and a pan. The first step is to wash your hands for about 20 seconds under warm water. First, grab some soap. Next, put the soap together and rub it against your hands. Next, turn on the water and feel it out to make sure that it's warm. If it's not warm, you can always adjust the temperature. In order to remember to wash your hands for 20 seconds, you can count in your head. Now turn off the water and grab a paper towel to dry your hands. Before we mix our ingredients, let's make sure to preheat the oven to 325 degrees. Awesome! The first step is to take your brownie mix out of the box. I also have a pair of scissors with me as well to cut the bag open. You can ask your parents for scissors at home. The brownie mix smells so good. Now we're going to dump it into the large mixing bowl. And make sure you shake as much of the brownie mix out of the bag to make sure that it all goes into the bowl. Now that we have our cake mix into the large mixing bowl, it's time to crack our 3 eggs. You may need some help with mom or dad for this part at home. First, I'm going to crack my first egg. And remember, you want to hit the egg hard so all of it goes into the bowl. Now that I've cracked my first egg, I'm going to crack my second egg. And what I like to do is hold the egg firm to make sure that no shells get into the cake mix. Now we're on to our last egg. Awesome. Now it's time to fill our measuring cup with 1/4 cup of water. First, I'm going to turn on the water and make sure that it reaches 1/4. As you can see, it's 1/4. If you want to double check to make sure that you have 1/4, you can check the line right here. If you're a little over, you can dump out a little bit of the water, but this looks perfect. Now it's time to pour our water into the mixing bowl. Don't forget to tap the excess water into the mixing bowl. Perfect. Now it's time to add some vegetable oil to our measuring cup. You will need 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. In order to make sure that we have enough vegetable oil, I am going to stand to the side of the table and make sure that it lines up. Perfect. As you can see, we have 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Now we're going to pour the vegetable oil into our mixing bowl. And remember, you want to tap out the excess vegetable oil to make sure that it all goes into the mixing bowl. Now it's time to mix our ingredients. First, I'm going to use a fork to beat the eggs. As you can see, I'm pressing down on the eggs to make sure that they are consistent in the mix. Now that the eggs are broken up, I'm going to use a spatula to mix all the ingredients together. I'm going to hold the bowl down to make sure that I have a firm grasp on the bowl. When you're mixing the cake mix, it's important to scrape the sides of the bowl to make sure that the cake mix is thoroughly mixed. I'm also holding one hand on the bowl to make sure that I have control of the cake mix as I'm stirring. You can also ask mom or dad to help you with this part at home because your hand may get tired. As you can see, I'm scraping the sides of the bowl to mix it all together into one. It's also important to use big, large, round motions when mixing the cake mix, like this. Since there's a lot of extra powder on the sides of the bowl, I'm scraping it into the middle to make sure that it is all consistent. And it might take a little while too, which is okay. It's just important that the mix is all consistent. If you need to take a break from mixing, it's okay to take a little break if mom or dad are unavailable. As you can see, the mix is getting more consistent and there's less powder. This is the goal of our product. As you can see, the cake mix is getting more thorough, which is what we want. Now that our cake mix is all mixed, it should look like this. The next step is to take a little piece of butter and place it onto a napkin or paper towel. This will be used to grease our pan. I'm going to take about this much butter. Now I'm going to place it onto the napkin. Perfect. Now I'm going to use the butter on the bottom of the pan to grease it, like so. For this step, it's important to make sure that you spread the butter out evenly all around the bottom of the pan, like so. Don't forget to get the corners of the bottom of the pan as well. The reason why we're greasing the bottom of the pan is so that the brownies don't stick when we take them out of the oven later. Now our pan is all greased and it's time to put the brownie mix into the pan. For this part, I'm going to stand up just because it's easier to make sure that all the mix goes into the bowl. I'm also using my spatula as well to pour the mix into the pan. Sometimes not all the cake mix will go into the pan. That's why it's important to use the spatula to, as you can see, I'm scraping the sides of the bowl for the extra brownie mix to go into the pan. You can also tap the spatula into the pan as well to make sure that all the brownie mix is included in the pan. And now our brownie mix is ready. Now that our brownie mix is all finished, it's time to put them into the oven. As you can see, the temperature is 325, which means that the brownies are ready to go in the oven. First, I'm going to grab some oven mitts to make sure that I don't burn my hands. Next, I'm going to open the oven, grab the brownie mix, and put it on the shelf. Don't forget to close the oven. Now that our brownies are in the oven, it's time to set a timer. You can use a microwave or your phone at home. We're going to set the timer for 30 minutes. Let's check back in 30 minutes to see if the brownies are ready. Now that our timer is at 0, we can check our brownies. Don't forget to use your mitts to check your brownies. Wow, this looks really yummy. In order to check if our brownies are fully cooked, let's use a toothpick. First, place the toothpick into the brownies like this. Since there is still a little bit of brownie mix on our toothpick, it looks like they need to be cooked a little more. I'm going to place the brownies back in the oven for 5 more minutes and check on them again. Now comes the hard part. We have to wait about 30 minutes for the brownies to cool because they're way too hot to eat.